let's talk about some positives since they won the series. I think I like this. If they lose the series, we talk about negatives first. If they win the series, we talk about positives first. Have to start with Aaron Judge, who's an animal. He's on another planet. 2 for 5 on Tuesday, 2 for 3 on Wednesday, hitting home runs in every single game. Through 127, so Jeff Passan put out a tweet. Through 127 games in 2022, he was slashing 295, 396, 661 with 49 homers and 109 RBIs. Okay? That was the year he hit 62 home runs. Through 127 games this year, 334 batting average, so significantly higher batting average, 465 on base percentage, which is also significantly higher. 465 on base percentage is 40. You're nearly getting on half the time. Like you're
insane.
46, round up to half, I guess. And the kicker here is a 722 slugging percentage, which is better than the rest of the league's OPS. Okay. Aaron Judge has a higher slugging percentage than the average OPS in the league. And that you might just like that might not be actually sinking in. That might just be washing over. You're like, okay, yeah, like he's good. No. That is taking the rest of the league's on base percentage and slugging percentage and combining them together. And Judge is beating it with just his slugging percentage, not to mention his 465 on base percentage. It's crazy. He's got 47 home runs, so 2 short of his pace in 22, 117 RBIs, so a bit more RBIs. You know, he could very well hit 63 home runs to beat his 62 home runs, but whether he finishes the year at 58 home runs, 59, 61, whatever, it's a very real case. This is a better season than he had in 2022. And he sucked in April.
I mean, basically April was a nothing burger compared to anything. I mean, if he had April in
average April, average.
Yeah, the numbers
he'd be blowing the numbers out of the water. He might be at 53 home runs right now.
Look, I've said this in the past, but I really do think we need to say it as much as humanly possible. Everybody needs to take a step back and understand what the hell we're watching with this guy. Like we're seeing, when you look at the history of baseball and you look at the history of the New York Yankees, you go back and you look at those the year stat lines from like Gehrig and Ruth and even like Mantle, but like Gehrig and Ruth used to put up just like unbelievably stupid numbers when you look at their lines. That's what Judge is doing right now. Judge is stuffing every single category with like Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig type numbers. And it's probably arguably, but you'd have to have a very convincing argument for the other side of it. This is the hardest time it's ever been in the history of baseball to play baseball and to hit a baseball, I would say, because of the specialty, the specialization of pitchers, the technology, all of the above. And you could say technology on the other side is helping as well. Sure. It's still a wood bat. I know wood bats have gotten better, but still a tree, still the same material at the end of the day. But yes, they are, what he's doing right now is unbelievable. And I'm super thankful. I was talking to a guy that I just met who is a neighbor of my in-laws, and he turns out a big Red Sox fan. So we started shooting the shit a little bit. And I was like, I'm really happy that my son Kemp is able to when he's starting to learn baseball and watch baseball for the first time, he's got, and I hope the Yankees organization, I swear to God, if you screw this up, if you fumble this in the offseason, he's got the ability to watch Aaron Judge and Juan Soto to play back-to-back on every single day. And as a young kid, he gets to see it for the first couple innings, and right. the way that they're playing in the first couple innings, might as well be watching, another all-star for an entire game because of the amount of home runs and just production that's happening early in the game from these guys. It's truly special to watch because he's the on-base percentage and the batting average speak to the lack of stretching the zone, just like the way that he can control the strike zone and how he does not go outside it at all. He dictates that entire at bat. He dictates the entire at bat, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, and he doesn't deviate.
Logan.
So how about I give you his numbers? Have you guys seen his numbers for the last 99 games since that Milwaukee series in August at the end of April?
I do think it's funny how we're like the last 98 games he's been the most. Well, and now 99.
I just picked 99.
I saw the stats from last night, but yeah,
379 average, 379.
Yeah.
507 on base percentage. Over half the time, like we were just talking about. 833 slugging, not OPS. 1.340 OPS. 44 home runs, 105 RBIs.
This is a guy who came up in 2000.
That's a full season.
Oh, 100%.
No, I mean that's
That's
guys
more than
don't
a full
put that
season.
up. Yeah, guys never put up those numbers. I mean, those sorts of numbers, the on base percentage, are reminiscent of well, not quite Barry Bonds in the early 2000s because he was walking 200 times those seasons. But that's the type of thing that you're seeing where like Barry Bonds in 2002, for example, had a 370 batting average and a 582 on base percentage and a 799 slugging percentage. Like what you just read off that's the same thing Aaron Judge is doing. And here's one thing I don't appreciate from Jeff Passan's tweet. He said he ended the tweet with the last player not linked to steroids to slug this high in a full season is Ted Williams in 1957. Well, Jeff, just by mentioning that, you're kind of bringing up the steroid thing. Just didn't appreciate that.
Well, I don't think that's, he's just basically saying like, don't look at Barry Bonds, don't look at McGuire, don't look at the power numbers. But like this, don't forget, this is coming from a guy who started his baseball career, his Yankees career in 2016 with basically striking out at a 50% clip. And now he's getting on base at a 50% clip. I mean, the transformation from when he came up and the swing transformation and the approach is truly remarkable. People throw around the term generational talent all the time. And it's usually at the very beginning of someone's career. He's a generational talent. And then we see how, no, this is a generational talent. Like this truly is a generational talent. It's, you could put Juan Soto in that. Like the generational talent term is for the upper echelon, the best of the best, who have shown it for, a decently long sample size and continue to get better. That's the thing, man. He's better. Like this is a better season. It's a better season.
You could look at the seasons like you mentioned from Gehrig and Ruth in the 20s and 30s, and like fine, that's totally valid to look at that. But a lot of people don't consider that really the modern age of baseball. First of all, like the league didn't have black players in it.
Right.
Like that's a big thing, right? So if you want to look at something a little bit more modern, you go to Mickey Mantle in 1956, which was everyone considers his best season. It's his Triple Crown season. He hit 353 with a 464 on base percentage and a 705 slugging percentage. Like those numbers are pretty much what we've seen from Aaron Judge, barring a few percentage points here or there. But when it's that well-rounded, hitting in the mid 300s, getting on base in the high 40% and slugging around 700, like to be that well-rounded of a hitter is really, really rare.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point about, I never thought Aaron Judge would ever sniff a 300, never mind a 330 batting average. Like that's not a knock on him, but just with the way baseball is, with the amount he struck out early in his career, and with just like, him being a home run hitter, this is the nature of like, he's not going to get as many singles and doubles and things like that. I thought if he could hit 270, that's like a really high batting average for him. But he has proven me wrong and proven otherwise with the fact that, like you said, he's dictating the at-bats, he's making the pitchers come to him, and then the one or two pitches he sees, he's punishing. It's crazy. It
is crazy. And it's fun to watch. So yeah, take a step back and realize it's like, this is not normal. This is not normal. This is unbelievable. And I refer to the numbers for Gehrig and Ruth is because you're right. Baseball, totally different. Like the competition wasn't there. You could list off a number of things, but just the sheer optics of those stat lines have always been like crazy just because the numbers are so high. And that's what he's doing in today's game, which is weird. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. He's stealing some bases too. It's not like that's a zero in that category. He's got speed. The man is 6'7" and runs like he's 6'1", 6'2". He's got the athletic prowess of someone who is much smaller and more nimble and athletic, yet in a 6'7", 6'8" frame, which is insane. And that was the other reason, like, why I didn't believe that he'd be able to, duplicate the swing as much and the muscle memory and just like getting back to the sheer repetitiveness of these mechanics, because he is so big, it's harder to do. And he's just he said "F you" to all the people thinking that he cannot do it, and has
No one's been saying that in the
flawless-
last 5 years.
No one's
I
saying
mean,
it recently, but
Yeah.
earlier in his career, I'm sure there were people that sized him up and identified him as this, and he's like, you know what? That's
Richie Sexton.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, Logan.
early comparisons to Dave Winfield, which is
Okay, well, Dave Winfield's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Like, that's
and-
not a knock.
no, but no, and Dave Winfield hit for average as well. But like you look at the numbers compared to what Judge is doing right now, and it's better. It's crazy.
Just like to kind of continue with like the numbers that back that up. So he's at a 224 WRC plus. So that's 124% better than league average.
More than double better than league average.
That's only been done in 5 seasons over the course of a whole season. I understand seasons on over. Barry Bonds did it 3 times, 01, 02, and 04, and Babe Ruth did it twice in 1920 and 1923. That's it.
Well, Babe Ruth didn't even do that in 1927 when he hit 60 home runs. He out-homered teams. Like, what are you talking about?
Not a 224. And then Ted Williams had a 223 in 1957.
Was that when he hit 400?
I believe so.